I have this new roller here for Christmas, and it is these Christmas trees, and I've only done it half because I want it to go around the bottom of the cake like a scene. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to be combining some of the sugar paste white with the blue, and that's brought me out to this colour here. So let's get started and see how it turns out. Okay, so I made like a sausage shape here, and then we're just going to roll this out. Now, to use the rollers, you really need to make sure that it doesn't stick on the back, because as you try and peel it up, you're just going to ruin your pattern. So we're going to put a little bit of corn flour underneath, fair bit of that corn flour on the bottom there, and then we're just going to roll this out. So we want to make sure we've got a good bit of thickness on it, so it's going to hold the pattern that we're going to put in. I'm going to take my Christmas one, and then we're just going to come straight across. I'm going to keep this relatively close towards the bottom because I want this to be more bottom heavy. So now we've got this gorgeous design, and we're not stuck to the bottom. So I've cut the bottom part off, and then using my fondant smoother, I'm just going to line that across the bottom, just trying to make sure that it's nice and even. Now we have got these lines across here where we've pushed in because we've got half and half. So we're just going to roll those slightly. Don't touch this. We're just going to smooth across the top just to even this all out. Perfect. I'm just going to pop this onto the cake using the paneling method. Onto the snow effect for across the top. Give it a slight swirl, really easily. Pull this away, and you get what's left with like a splat. Place this over the top. You can add a little bit of water to help it stick, and then just smooth it down, and using the same actions as you would for covering a cake, just pop it across the top. Now let's move on to painting those trees. So what I've done is I've used some different dusts and pop dipping solution across the top. And then when it's all dissolved, I am then going over with just a light brush across the whole entire part of tree there. We need to build those colours up now to give it definition. So the dust will have fallen to the bottom of the dipping solution. So if you push your brush down towards the bottom part there, it will be a stronger colour. So you can see there, I'm just coming over on one side because that will give it that effect as well. You've got one side a lot lighter than the other. I'm going to cover the bottom of my board with fondant, and I'm just going to gather that in right to the edge. Now I'm using this silicone tool here. It really merges it all together absolutely beautifully. Let's make some snow. So I'm just going to blitz up some wafer paper. So I've got 2 sheets. I'm just going to rip it into pieces, pop it into this. I just use a coffee grinder. Get mine on Amazon. So simple. And I love it. Right, so we're going to blitz this. Keep going until it's powder. Okay. So we want it like this. It's like dust, but at the same time, there is a little bit of coarseness to it. Okay, so now we're going to put some of this all around. There's our little snow effect just there. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Now I want to do something with the top. I want to make it look cloud-like, and then we're going to put a couple of snowmen around the outside, and then we should be done. So I've got my little bead roller with snowmen. We're going to make a couple of snowmen to put around the outside. This is so cute and simple, so I thought I'd show you. So we're going to take some white fondant, and then on the back we've got guides. So there's a smaller and then a larger snowman, and obviously the smaller side is for the smaller one and the larger one's for the larger one. Who knew? We're going to take an amount and then put it into the back gauge that we've got here. Try not to overfill it too much. Smooth it out with your fingers. To be fair, that's pretty much there. I'm going to put a tiny bit more on. If you do need to cut it, just take a little knife, not a proper knife, you don't want to ruin this. So this is the Serra knife there, just a plastic knife. And then from the outside, come across. Okay, so that's all I need to remove just there. We're going to take this out. So this is the larger one. You can do 2 at the same time. I'm just going to show you the one. So we're going to make this into a ball. And then we are just gonna make like a cone. So we just want to make that top bit a little bit thinner. So it's like a pear. Pop it into the ridge of where this is, like that. And then use your hand and just give it a guide. And this is just gonna put those little indentations into it. Just there. Then we're gonna put the top on. Now this is plastic on plastic, it does make a slight noise, okay? Ready? And then he's done. Look how cute my little snowman is. I'm using some wafer paper lace there across the top just to give it that kind of real snowy and cloud-like texture, and it also gives it height, which I love. I'm going to drizzle over the top there some wafer paper snow that we made earlier, topped then with the magic sprinkles as well for some glitter, which will look absolutely stunning. And look, I'm so delighted with this. It has really given me Christmas vibes, and I hope you really like it.